how do I solve a system of equations, that's what I'm solving, by graphing? Okay, here's how we do it. First, so remember you're given a system of equations. You're going to be given two equations. What do? You graph both lines. You do that first. Now, the solution is the ordered pair. Okay, remember the solution to a system is always an ordered pair. Okay, that's an x and a y value. Okay, and what you're looking for is where they intersect. Okay, and you know this, right? You know that a system of equations has a solution, and it's where those two lines intersect. So once I find the ordered pair where they intersect, then what I can do is I can use what I know about testing a solution to check, right? So I'm going to test the solution. Okay, and of course when I test the solution, right, I have to do that in both equations. We know that when we're testing a solution to an equation, that means that we plug the ordered pair into both equations. Okay, so we're just going to do a super fast example here, but this is actually just combining stuff you already know how to do. So let's say I have, for example, this system. Okay, and I'm just going to sketch a graph here. So you can just kind of do your best to make it semi-neat so you have something to reference. And I will tell you right now, I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm just going to tell you what we need here, and I'm going to go down 7 here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so, and you don't need to do the other lines, and I'm just telling you that because I already know. So let's graph this, right? We start at our y-intercept at -7. So remember that is the, right, this is the b, the y equals mx plus b. I start on the y-axis. Okay, so I'm graphing that point right here at -7 on the y-axis. Remember, I always graph that point on the y-axis, not the x-axis. And now my slope is, rise over run is 2/1. Okay, so I'm going to go up 2/1, and I'm just kind of sketching here, right, because I don't have graph paper here, but I'm going to go up 2/1, 2/1, and my line's going to look something like this. And I'm just going to sketch it as best I can. Okay, and now I'm going to graph this one. Y equals 1/3 x minus 2. So I start here at my b, which is -2. And my rise over run in this case is 1/3. So I'm going to go up 1/3, and right away I already see it intersects right here. I'm going to go up 1/3 again, and I can see my line is going to look something like this. And I can see that where these two lines intersect, that is the solution. And what point is that? That's 1, 2, 3 to the right and 1 down. So this is my solution. So right now I've graphed both lines. I found the ordered pair where they intersect, and I'm ready to go ahead and just check this solution. So it's 3, -1. So if I want to check that, how do I do it? Well, I plug it into both equations, right? So going back to what we learned when I tested solutions, right? This is my x value and my y value, and I'm going to plug it into both equations. So I'm going to plug it in. Let's plug it into this one first. Okay, so I'm going to plug in my y value right here, right, and my x value right here. So y is, what's this, -1, right, -1, equals 2 times x, 3, minus 7. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, I just brought everything else down. 6 minus 7 is -1. Perfect. So, looks good so far. Let's check it in the other equation, right? Because if I want to check my answer and make sure it's good, I got to check it in both equations. Okay, once again, I'm going to plug in my y value for y, right? Just like I did here, I plugged in -1 for y. And then, of course, I'm going to plug in my x value for x. Over here, I did that. Okay, so y value is -1 equals 1/3 times 3 minus 2. Let's do that 1/3 times 3 over here. I'm going to do 1/3 times 3. Okay, so that becomes 1/3 times 3/1, right? I made it into a whole number. I'm going to multiply across the top, which is 3. Across the bottom, I get 3. 3 divided by 3 equals 1. Okay, so I just did this multiplication, 1/3 times 3, and that is 1. 1 minus 2 is -1. So hey, right? I graphed, I got an answer, and then I checked my answer by plugging it in. I plugged in my x value and my y value in to both equations, and I am good, right? I checked my answer, so I know that my answer, 3, -1, is correct.